Hey, so it's been a while. I haven't intentionally been shying away from making videos, but it's just not been happening. I think number one, because I've just been busy with life and uni, and number two, because my self-esteem is at an all-time low at the moment, and I'm not sure how I got here or when that happened, but it's been influencing my ability and my willingness to sit down and talk to a camera. I also failed veg. Arguably, it depends what you would classify as failure. I don't know. I got out of veg what I set out to get out of veg, and I missed a lot of videos, especially near the end, but veg was still an important thing for me to do at the time. So for the greater part of this year, I felt quite hopeless and quite helpless, especially when it comes to the state of the world as it is at the moment. I've mentioned this briefly in a video I filmed at the beginning of the year, but I've just been struggling a little to have faith in the longevity of the world and humanity, and also I've been struggling with actually having any investment in the longevity of humanity and the world. I'm someone who benefits from a logical direction or action to take against a perceived problem, and when it comes to trying to deal with things as big as the world as we know it and climate change and collective opinion, there's no one direction or action you can take. There's just not, and there never will be. It's not a simple problem. And also there's no bearings. There's no way to tell if you're achieving your goal. There's no little helpful green light hanging around to tell you when you're on the right track or doing the right thing. And I've also been doubting my ability to even make an impact on the world in any way, shape or form. However, in early July, I completed the first semester of the second part of my double degree, which is basically a 2-week intensive, wherein basically a whole semester is packed into 2 weeks. And while initially I was really kind of dreading it, I didn't think I'd work well having to go into uni from 9 AM to 5 PM every single day for 2 weeks. I didn't think I'd work well being around that many people for so long, so frequently, and I didn't think I'd work well having to get so much intense, detailed work done in that short amount of time. However, quite the opposite happened. I'm not going to go into great detail, but that course gave me a lot of hope. It also gave me the motivation that I have been lacking all year to just do things and just make, and to just stop overthinking everything. The main thing I have learnt over the past few weeks, or the main theme that has permeated my reflections over the past few weeks, is that things take time. I've spent a lot of time this year craving the middle of the adventure, because it would be so much easier to just skip to the part where I'm comfortable. And I've also spent a lot of time applying the logic and the expectations of the middle of an adventure to the beginning of an adventure, and wondering why I feel so dissatisfied. Basically, I've spent a lot of time unintentionally completely ignoring emotionally the fact that the part of my life I'm going through right now is new and something I've never experienced before. And it's completely okay to be a little scared about that and a little uncomfortable. I'm constantly asserting that I need to be always in control, and that new situations and new experiences and places that aren't part of my plan stress me out a lot. In fact, that's pretty much one of the first things I tell people about myself for some reason. However, I haven't been actually applying this knowledge to certain aspects of my life. I have also recently realized that I have a lot of deep-seated insecurities that I wasn't aware of. Never underestimate a simple problem, and also never underestimate how much a simple problem can fuck you over when it's not dealt with. Because although it's more complex than this, I think the thing I've been struggling to deal with over the past few months is the fact that I have been literally thrust out of my comfort zone into a completely new situation with no bearings. But because I thought I had prepared for this, and I spent so long craving and planning studying for university, and because I needed a change in routine and a shake-up of my life as a whole. I thought I was immune to the insecurity and instability and uncertainty that comes hand in hand with new experiences. I was exploring King's Cross, Australian King's Cross, the other day for a uni writing task thing with a few friends, and I came across a discarded plate of lasagna, just sort of balanced perfectly against the curb of a side street. And for some fucking reason, this abandoned plate of lasagna reminded me of the extent to which I have been procrastinating living. I was looking at this lasagna and I think I just began to think about the traditional art student lifestyle that I have been craving and all of my worries associated with that. This is supposed to be the best part of my life right now, this period from around 18 to 30. It's supposed to be the time of my life. It's the part of life that everyone looks back on, and why doesn't it feel like that? And I'm so aware that life doesn't always meet expectations. However, this has just been going through my head a lot over the first half of this year. And this cold pasta square reminded me that things take time. And furthermore, it reminded me that literally the only thing standing in the way of me living the life that I want to live at this point is myself, and how much accepting opportunities scares the shit out of me. Things take time. And people take time to adjust to new situations, and it has taken time and discarded lasagna for me to remember this. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, or hey, you could also subscribe, because that would be really cool. Let me know in the comments section what's new in your life. Has there been anything big or even small recently that's jumped on into your reality, and how have you dealt with that emotionally? I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you whenever I see you with a new video. Bye.